Hello there, this is James S. Crofty, Days 1978, and privilege, an advantage that we're so used to having, that is such a normal part of our everyday lives that we don't even notice that we have it, and more importantly, don't notice that other people don't have it, even going to the extent of condemning them as lazy, criminal, immoral, or what have you, simply because they don't have what we have by sheer luck. And no, not just being born with a silver spoon in our mouths and a legacy at Harvard, but the privilege of being born into a world that was built by people like us, for people like us, and therefore not noticing or considering that other people won't be able to interact and progress within that society with the same ease as we do. Not because we're bigoted, because we hate them, because we purposely exclude them, etc., but because, for example, being able to see is so normal and natural to most of us that we literally have to remind ourselves that other people can't.
Toph, when I was in town, I found something that you're not gonna like.
Well, it sounds like a sheet of paper, but I guess you're referring to what's on the sheet of paper. What's this? I don't know! I mean, seriously, what's with you people? I'm blind!
I've got an idea.
Sure.
I'm gonna send a note to Katara and say it's from Toph who wants to apologize. Then everyone will be friends again.
I gotta say, Sokka, you continue to impress me with your ideas.
It's a gift. Dear Katara, sorry for everything, your friend Toph.
I know this is from you, Sokka. Toph can't write. Ugh, you're all driving me crazy!
I can't believe we forgot Toph can't write.
Yep, we're idiots.
I guess plan B is we send a note to Toph pretending it's from Katara.
I think we're gonna run into a similar problem.
Similarly, my girlfriend Teresa is neuroatypical, and therefore, because of my neurotypical privilege, when I feel frustrated because she fails to grasp something that I would grasp easily, I have to stop and remind myself that no, she's not being stupid or ignorant, she's not deliberately trying to wind me up, she just literally doesn't process information the same way that I do. And likewise, if you sincerely believe that black people aren't treated any differently, that there is no advantage whatsoever in being white in a society that was created by white people, for white people, with white being an arbitrary label that the ruling class gave themselves to distinguish us from what they self-righteously judged to be the inferior coloured races, deliberately choosing the terms black and white because of their ancient and ubiquitous associations with goodness, purity and virtue on the one hand, and evil, dirt, filth and corruption on the other, then congratulations, that's white privilege. But surely that's not privilege though, because privilege is a word I associate with the smug, self-righteous tossers who I despise, the scum like Trump and Boris Johnson who failed, fucked up and broken the law countless times, but have not only gotten away with it, but actually failed upwards and profited from their failures, fuck-ups and crimes because of the old school tie and the judge being a member of the same fucking country club. And if they had been born into working class families, then they would either be in prison or dead. Alas, that's another example of the fact which I've analysed and dissected for years now, that all of what we call morality is built upon the same self-serving conceit that only other people who we mistrust, hate and fear can ever be genuinely bad or do bad things. Only they can ever actually deserve it. That whether we mean this literally or metaphorically, while those bad and evil people are automatically condemned to hell, all I and the people who I like and support have to do is ask God to forgive us, and our sins will be wiped clean. A self-serving joke which means that we live in a society in which people are more outraged by the mere suggestion that we might unconsciously enable discrimination and benefit from it than we are by the discrimination itself. But even leaving all of that aside though, even accepting that yes, the problematic nature of the term privilege, the fact that we have to waste time explaining that no, we're not calling you a bad person, or saying that being born white is the same as being born a millionaire, means that we should maybe try to come up with another term to describe the advantage of merely being straight, white, able-bodied, neurotypical, mentally healthy, Christian, cisgendered and or male in a white, Christian, cishet patriarchy in which being able-bodied, neurotypical and mentally healthy is the norm. Changing the name wouldn't make the blindest bit of difference, just as people would still be condemning Black Lives Matter as violent, reverse racist black supremacists who threaten more freedom if they'd called themselves Black Lives Matter too, and it makes no difference if we stop shortening anti-fascists to Antifa, because the people who make such petty nitpicking complaints about semantics, who feel personally attacked and threatened, and thus annoyed or even enraged by the use of the term privilege or any discussions about bigotry, discrimination and what have you, aren't looking for a better framework in which to hold those discussions. They simply want us to shut up and stop making them feel uncomfortable, threatened and judged.